And welcome everyone! We are back in Alpha 17.2 and we are doing the usual base testing to see does it work or does it not work. Has the AI changed to make things work or make things not work again? And as you can see, I am going to go into God mode here because I am going to die. And that's because just like 17.1, this melee circle base doesn't work at all. Just like in 17.1, they decided that this is the best way in. I think it's because this one has 3,000 hit points and these ones only have 2,005. So going through here is a lot faster. So yeah. Alright. Oh, alright. Okay. Whew. So, go through that again. I'm going to go through some more bases here, and this is a very quick one because I was figuring it doesn't work at all. But I'm looking at the zombie AI and how it has changed across the versions. Alpha 17.0, this one worked quite well, with some minor modifications, but the general idea worked of them following the path, even though they were just barbed wire, and then coming here, falling down, and then going up around. 17.1, this broke totally, and 7.2, it's still broken. So let's not spend more time with that one. Let's go to the next base, and as you can see, the game has totally corrupted this. No, actually it hasn't. That was just a test space that I did previously, but I'm going to go through my underground. What's it called? The underground. Whoa, that's really bright. Really bright. The underground trapped entryway, underground whatever base. I have these weird names that I can't even remember myself. That actually worked quite well in 17.0 and it worked well in 17.1. It didn't have any major issues, and I believe it's going to work pretty well in 17.2 as well. So let me see how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to do this testing. Let me prepare it, and I'll be back in just a moment when I'm all ready. Alright, we are now in another horde, which has 16 concurrent zombies, and I think game stage is something like 450, 500, whatever. I have detached the camera just so I can see zombies running in. Are they running in? Okay, I think I had paused the AI, unfortunately. So I unpaused it, and let's see them run here. Let's see if they will track towards the path. And let me make sure I'm in this. Yep, they are definitely tracking here, and I am going to have a problem here because I'm dumb. Being dumb never actually helps, right? So for some reason, I decided to not turn on any of the traps. So maybe we should turn on the traps as well. Need to refuel gas. Okay, so that would explain it. So let's refuel, turn on. Oh yeah, much better. Okay, so let's re-enable the AI and see how that goes. And I think that they should work quite well, as we saw just above right now. They all follow this path, or they appear to follow this path, and run down here. So I can actually kill them as soon as they come in here, just to make sure we keep getting new spawns. I wish I could detach the camera when I'm here. That doesn't work. You can only detach the camera where you are. You can't seem to, I believe, change the camera after you have your character. So I can't just shift the camera out somewhere else, but I can turn on the debug information, which will show me, well, as you see, the debug information per entity. And as long as they don't get stuck up here, it means that things are working pretty well. So they all seem to be going in here. Of course, the spiders, they go under here. I didn't put 2 layers. I probably should have done that, maybe in the middle or something, have a couple of them in 2 layers, or maybe towards the end. All of them coming, still no problem with that pathing. So yeah, this seems to work really well still. This has no problem whatsoever. They're all coming in here. And they're all dying. This could probably be, I'm suspecting that the path that they would have to go to get here, to get to me, is short enough that it is easier to do that than dig down through the ceiling or the ground that they are at. It's actually not very deep. It's like 10 maybe. And I think digging through 10 here, or 8, because I have the ceiling and everything, might be more trouble than it's worth. And just going through this short corridor then is seen as a surmountable obstacle, as opposed to be an insurmountable obstacle. I believe the AI was changed in such a way that if the path is too long, they will try to break things to get to you. But at least this one works, and that's interesting. I do have another... I'm actually getting quite a few of these backpacks. I'm not sure whether that's changed in Alpha 17.2. Did they increase the likelihood of getting... Someone who has checked into the XML, have they changed? Yeah, see, I'm definitely getting more. It used to be 1 in 30 or something. But as you can see, I seem to be definitely be getting more loot here. Maybe they bumped that up. That obviously can be checked in the XML. So if someone does that, let me know. Is it still the same? But yeah, I mean, this is definitely no problem. It's working perfectly. So that's good to know. So a base like this, with an entry like this, will definitely work. Of course, if I make my way this way, and let me actually do that. If I just make my way like here, at what point will they decide to dig? They're still not digging. Okay. So let's see. Let me just do a little bit further then. So now I'm another 15 blocks something. Are they digging? No, but they're starting to get through. Maybe the traps have been depleted. They're above me here. Stop it, you bad dog. Bad dog. Down, boy. Down, boy. Or girl, or whatever it is. Okay, so this is still working pretty well. I thought that this would definitely be more of an issue, but no, even an extra 15-20 of distance, and they are still deciding to go all the way over here. Interesting. So this one works well then. This one, even with a longer path. I mean, this is not an extremely long path, but it's not an extremely short one either. I mean, it basically means that if they're spawning, well, like here. Okay, are they digging? Now they might be digging, actually. I can't quite see. Alright, let me do this. Pause the AI. Oh yeah, now they started digging. Okay, so there is some point that they will start digging. And I think we hit it there. Which means that, let me see if I go back here. If I do this. Are they still going to be there? No, now they're running out. Okay, so definitely you can see there is a distance here. And here they will definitely decide to go through this one to the path. And somewhere in the here, they will decide that they're going to dig instead. I think here was fine, but I think if I'm at the end, it will not be fine. So that's something to keep in mind. You can actually test that out for your specific dig or build. And I think that will depend on the distance, on how, sort of where they spawn. They are spawning fairly well, or fairly distance off. And, right, stop. Shh. Quiet, please, quiet. And how long a corridor is and how deep it is. But this seems to be pretty good. So I'm going to take this as really working very well. And let's go look at the melee melee pillar base and see if that one still works, because that one was a really nice base to have a melee capability when you're having the Blood Moon Horde. So give me a moment and I will be back. And of course we're here in the melee pillar base. No, we're not actually. This is the melee ramp base, and this is, I believe, was the one that was built based on Jerva's one of Jerva's suggested way of building this, and it's actually, well, it's sort of as a melee base. It was meant as a melee base to some degree, where you have a ramp up, as you can see, and they will jump over, and if you time it, you can bash them in the face. And I wanted to see how that one will work, and this one is working in a very interesting manner. I don't know what to say, actually. I'm a little bit confounded here. A lot of them seem to be doing the walk or run up the stairs, and they will jump. Some of them at the bottom are just standing bashing random things. The one who's running on the left side there seems to be... I don't know where he's going. I don't think he knows where he's going. He ran up, and then he ran down, and then he ran around, and then he ran down again, and then he really doesn't seem to know where he's going. Whoa, I'm getting hit by something here. Okay, so... Oh, it's inside? No! Okay. I don't think they all know what they're doing. I think they're definitely randomizing the behavior. You see the... Oh, let me get back out though. You see some zombies actually seem to get stuck on the pillars below, and you see some zombies on the right side of the of the ramp or the stairs are actually beating the stairs as opposed to walking up the stairs. Now we do have that problem sometimes, simply because they seem to not want to walk around the stairs sometimes and just try to bash. I think if you use the ramp rather than stairs, it works better. If you just use the normal blocks, I think it also works better. It just means that they're jumping as opposed to running out. And there does seem to be some kind of random behavior. the aggro, the tantrum that they've been having is a little bit weird. You see them fall down, and then some of them seem to be running a distance, and then they decide that they're going to aggro. Okay, can I? It is so difficult to shoot here. Then they start to be aggroing after they've been running some distance. So if you see, like at the staircase up from the underground, there's some damage there from just random zombies who decided to beat. Okay, so once the stair is down, actually none of them will be able to go up, so that's going to stop the testing. You see a couple of zombies are beating on one of the pillars. So yeah, it's a bit more random for how to do. I'm not quite sure exactly what they are doing, I have to admit. Some of them seem to be going for for pillars, trying to beat them, rather than going up the stairs. So they're not doing it as part of aggro bashing, but they're doing it for something else. Maybe because they decide that the path is too long and it's better to just start beating the pillars or the walls or random stuff. Yeah, definitely changed. I think that... Yeah, I don't know actually. This one definitely has changed. What do you think is happening here? If you look at the zombie AI, you see some of them are really weird. You see the nurse that is walking at the rock. It ran over to the rock. Then it runs back. And then it runs down. And then it runs back. And tries to beat one of the pillars. Really weird behavior. I think it ran to the rock because it was higher, but then decided that I can't get anywhere, so it jumps off, and then it runs around and tries something else, and then, yeah, no, I'm just going to beat the pillar, and then it runs over to the stairs, and yeah, now she's like, oh, alright, fine, I'll just try the stairs, and if you insist, you know, she's up at the stairs, and yeah, she jumps, she misses, and now she... is beating, yeah, now she's beating probably a block there in the corridor. So not even like underneath me, but just, 10 meters away. And there she finishes, and yeah, she's running good. Yeah, really weird behavior. It doesn't even seem to be consistent for the same zombie. It doesn't, I mean, I've been standing still, but the same zombie doesn't necessarily seem to be behaving the same way. Right now, if you see the left, yeah, now that it's jumping up on that rock, trying to maybe get to me, but then decides that it can't, and then runs down. And I mean, if you look at the behavior, it's fairly consistent, but it's also fairly random. Zombies run one direction, then they turn around and run another direction, and they fall down, and then they run up, and then they go somewhere else. And yeah, there's definitely some random behavior introduced. You can really see that here. I don't think it's too bad. I think the only part that is in danger is really the stairs, because probably want to have a better way for them to get up instead of getting stuck. I think they're getting stuck on the sides. That's the problem by using stairs versus just square blocks or the ramps. But beyond that, it's a little bit of damage here and there, but nothing that will really cause them to take it down. I think you might have to have a little bit of extra pillars, but yeah, it seems to be, I'm not going to say it's a total success, but I think the general concept probably works. So let's leave it at that, and let's try another underground base. And the next one we're checking out is the underground shredder base. And as you can see, I'm down there at the bottom. Actually, it's underneath. I think there's some bulletproof glass and everything there. That's why you can see me. So I'm actually not being shredded by the shredders. And we are now on day 56. Let's see if they're coming. I suspect that this one is going to work fairly well, have the same issues as it had in 17.0 and 17.1, meaning they all gravitate towards one side to try to bash through there. Yeah, because you're underneath here, so the simplest route is actually down. There is nothing else about it. They're not going to try to dig anywhere else. So you see they all run in here. And yeah, so I'm going to do this. Okay, they're all getting shredded. So that part is running very well. You do see... No, they're dead. This one has the problem that I covered last time's when I actually made this base, in that... Oh, can I get the UI? Thank you. In that, because they want to get through on this side. So they all gravitate towards this side. And if you get a lot of cops and radiated things like that, this one is going to get depleted. Because they're trying to bash through literally, well, here. But I think it's working really well still. This one has no problems. You could theoretically just stand here and repair and you'd be fine. It does take a fair bit of components to do that. And a better way to do this one would be combine it with the underground ramp base, where instead of allowing them, because right now the only way for them to get through is basically to bash out these ones. But you can imagine, and I talked about that the previous time, that instead of just having... Oh, did he blow up? Oh yeah, I think it did. Instead of just having it like this, to have a corridor that goes out and comes around here, because it means that they would try to go through the corridor and come out this way as opposed to just bash through the wall. And that way you have a much better time of, let me keep on upgrading, of managing this one, because now they're really trying to break through here, and there's no way to handle them once they break through, because they literally fall through here and then you're screwed. But if you just have a corridor that goes around and around, sort of as a U-shape, I think that would work quite well. So shredder traps, I would say that these are a go, and these are probably one of my favorite ways. Now, if I was standing... let me pause the AI a little bit here to get a bit more quiet. Again, like you saw in the previous one, if I was standing another 20, 30 blocks over here, they might decide that, hey, they're just going to dig down there. But if I'm somewhat around this one, probably plus minus 20 blocks, 25, 30 blocks, they would probably always try to go through here. So having this kind of setup would probably be really well. Let me look up and see. Yeah, I don't think they are. No, they're not digging anywhere. Let me just go up, verify. Yep, you see they're all coming in. Nothing is digging. And yeah, this is working well. Let me go back and restart it, because I don't think this one is going to have any problems whatsoever. For some reason, the tripwire isn't working. Oh, the tripwire is working, but oh, did I turn off the... No. These ones are not working. That's peculiar. Anyway, yeah, the electric fences are not working. Yeah, they should be bussing them here. That also attributes to, or contributes to them breaking through. Because if the tripwire is firing the... Yeah, the tripwires are working, but the fences are not firing. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. If the electric fences was firing... Quiet, please, quiet. If the electric fences were firing, then this one would be stunned a lot faster. You see this one has... Oh, see this one is almost broken. Yeah. Then all these would be stunned. And they would take a lot more damage without dealing damage. But for some reason the fences are not working. I don't know really what's happening there. But I would say that this build really works very well. It probably works the best out of all of them. Because regardless of what you have, you see they're trying to get through. Oops, they're trying to get through here. Loot. Any good loot? Yeah, water. The super loot. And if the electric fences were firing as well, then they'll be stunned. And with the corridor going that way, it will be even better. You see, they are really coming over here and bashing down. So yeah, I like this kind of base. And sure, it relies on the blade traps, but again, if you combine this one with the previous one, the trapped entry corridor, you could have these ones here, and you could have a corridor that is also protected by more blade traps, and I don't think anyone would get through it or anything. Let's close this door. So I have a few more bases that I'm going to keep trying out, and what do you think of these ones? Did they really work? Did they work as expected? Is something weird happening with the AI? I think the AI for the melee ramp base was a little bit weird. I'm gonna have to watch that back to see what I think is happening, but it's really some peculiar aspects of the AI now. But yeah, they're definitely tweaking it, they're definitely making changes, and it is seemingly making them more random, which might be good or bad. I think it's just they're running into a lot of these edge cases where the AI doesn't really know what to do, so they'll run circles, they'll run around, go back and forth a little bit because they're not quite sure what they're going to do, and that might look random, but I'm not really sure what that's intended. It's just their way because of the builds are causing that to happen. But we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to keep doing this. Leave a like and subscribe, hopefully. And I will catch you again next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.